final score prediction for this game will be 42 Garrigan, 30 St. Ed's. Yeah, I might have dropped the ball on that one this week. Welcome back to BG Game Preview. I'm your host, Lucy Eisenbarth, and it is week 5 of high school 8-man football. To start off today's video, we are going to dive into Garrigan's win versus St. Ed's at Dodger Stadium before looking to their week 5 matchup versus Turkey Valley. Before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, and go follow BG Game Preview on Instagram to stay up to date on all uploads. To start off this video, we're going to look at Garrigan's 65-6 win versus St. Ed's. Garrigan's offense got super comfortable on the road, which is a trend I've noticed with this team the past couple of years. Doesn't matter if they're away, at home, at the Dome. Garrigan's offense can get super comfortable and start racking up points super early. After the first quarter, the score was 14-0, and at halftime, it was 52-6. I was off on my score prediction for St. Ed's versus Garrigan just a little bit this week. I had Garrigan winning 42-30. So, give or take, after the 65-6 victory, 24 points. With this, we're going to look at some of the stat line sides of things. Tate Birch completed 2 of his 4 passes for 74 yards with 0 touchdowns, but did run for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was the leading rusher for Garrigan on the night. Leading receiver was Michael Joyce with the 2 catches for 74 yards. Those were both huge plays for Garrigan, setting them up in the red zone, which led to them scoring. Tate Birch also led this defense with 5 tackles, 2 TFLs, and 2 interceptions on the night. A great game for the senior quarterback and linebacker. Defensive back. Looking over to St. Ed's offense, senior quarterback Ethan Swisher completed 11 of his 19 passes for 122 yards and 1 touchdown. Senior Kenna Kenning led the team in rushing with 3 attempts for 31 yards and 0 touchdowns. And Grant Galis led the receiving with 4 receptions for 57 yards and the 1 touchdown that they had on the night. And for the defense, senior Jacob Koopman had 3.5 tackles and 1 TFL. As a team, Garrigan combined for 307 rushing yards off of 37 rushing attempts and 7 rushing touchdowns. That Garrigan rushing offense really is just a powerhouse in 8-man, and we haven't been able to see a team that has been able to stop it this far in the season. That is one of the things that I thought St. Ed's might come out and be able to limit a little bit from Garrigan's offense, was either shut down the passing or limit their rushing offense to a smaller margin than it has been in some of Garrigan's past games this season. Jumping over to the defensive side of things, the only turnover on the night were the 2 interceptions thrown by Ethan Swisher to the Garrigan defense, one of them being returned for a pick 6 from, I believe, CJ McGregor. Garrigan also had 1 kickoff return for a touchdown to start the second half of this game. Overall, a very dominant win for Garrigan, putting them at 4-0 on the season and knocking St. Ed's down to 500 or 2-2. Now, after the recap rewind, let's go look at Garrigan's opponent this week, Turkey Valley. Turkey Valley has started the season 3-1 on the year, with a 30-24 victory versus Riceville, a 36-30 victory versus Janesville, and a 66-23 victory over West Central. Their one loss came last week on their homecoming to Edgewood-Colesburg, 46-22. Edgewood-Colesburg is a very solid team and one that is likely to make the Dome this season. Fun fact for those of you who don't know where Turkey Valley is, it is in Jackson Junction, Iowa, which is located about an hour and 15 minutes west of Mason City. Overall, it's around 2.5 hours from Garrigan. That's a long ways of travel for this team this coming week. Stat leaders for this team this season: senior Logan Busta completed 29 of his 56 passes for 426 yards and 6 touchdowns this year, while rushing for 375 yards and 6 touchdowns. He is the leading rusher for this team as well. For receiving, senior J.D. Cruz. Again, if I am mispronouncing any of these names, I apologize. Let me know down in the comments below. So far on the season, the senior has 10 receptions for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, junior Jordan Kreiner has 25.5 tackles, 3 TFLs, and 2.5 sacks so far. The team as a whole has 162 rushing attempts for 990 yards and 16 rushing touchdowns on the year. They're similar into a sense where they do run the ball a lot like Garrigan. If you compare it to Garrigan's stat line, Garrigan as a team right now has 1,136 yards and 24 rushing touchdowns. Garrigan's offense does get out on the field more than most 8-man teams do, with their defense showing up and getting the ball back to the offense very efficiently. So far, their defense this year has 2 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries on the year. They also have 8 sacks as a whole. What'll be huge for Garrigan in this game is implementing their get comfortable, go score tactic, which we've seen in all of these games. Garrigan's offense gets into the game, gets super comfortable, scores super early on. This week it's at Garrigan's home field, which just makes that tactic even stronger for the Bears. Turkey Valley's biggest key for this game is locking down on defense. You can't let Garrigan get super comfortable super early on in the game, which is the thing that will cause them to lose this game this week. This leads to my final prediction for this week's game: Bishop Garrigan 56, Turkey Valley 12. I do think that Garrigan's offense will take over early, as we have seen in the past. It is a repeating pattern, and I do think that Turkey Valley's offense will be able to catch Garrigan's defense a little bit off guard in a couple of key spots, but they will not be able to convert on 2-point conversions and keep that consistency and keep it flowing throughout the rest of the game. Their offense has been very good this season, but I do not think that it will be able to match this Garrigan defense. Now that the football segment of BG Game Preview is done, by popular request, I have been asked to do more volleyball content. I'll try to do as much volleyball content as I possibly can. Some videos may have it, some videos may not, but I would like to put some volleyball content into every single video, whether it is predicting a game, looking at stat lines, giving shoutouts, whatever it may be. I do want to incorporate a little bit of volleyball into some of my content now that I've gotten comfortable and kind of have an understanding and a basis of how to do all of this. For this week, Garrigan plays North Iowa at home on Tuesday, September 23rd. The Garrigan volleyball team this season is 4-11 and will be taking on the 6-6 North Iowa Bison. Comparing stats this year, the assist leader for Garrigan is Alyssa Hoagland, a senior, with 210 assists. The leader in kills is Emmy Bartolo, a junior, with an average of 2 kills. Leader for blocks is Madeline Tiggis, a sophomore, with 27. Leader for digs is libero Kate Berkey with 151. And the leader in serving aces is Rikaya Nielsen with an ace.3. Comparing that to North Iowa's team, their leader is Taylor Hendrickson, 4 assists, a sophomore, with 215 assists. Their leader for kills is Tara Ergutz, a senior, with 2.7 kills on average. The leader for blocks is Bella Langfeld, a junior, with 21. Their leader for digs is also Tara Van Gutz with 86. And their leader for serving aces is Taylor Henriksen, again with ace.5. Overall, North Iowa averages 8 kills per set to Garrigan's 7.2. Garrigan does get a lot of blocks on the ball, comparing their 93 to North Iowa's 48. That could be a key factor in this game Tuesday night if they are able to block some of those North Iowa kills and get them to fall back on their side. One thing that the Garrigan Bears will have to watch out for is the North Iowa serving, as they have 75 serving aces on the season compared to Garrigan's 49. I overall think that this is going to be a close matchup between North Iowa and Garrigan, as they are very similar teams with some offsetting. For example, Garrigan's blocks to North Iowa's kills. Garrigan has an 82.8% chance to win this game according to Bound, and I do think that they are able to pull this off. Again, will be close and will not be shocked if North Iowa is able to come out with the win, but it is at Garrigan and the Garrigan student section, and crowd can get very loud and very rowdy, which could throw North Iowa off, leading to more mistakes on their end. My final prediction for this game is Garrigan winning this one 3-2. I think that Garrigan will be able to come out with the win over North Iowa in the end and will move to 5-11 on the season and knock North Iowa to a losing record of 6-7. Now we pray I don't get copyrighted for the last clip. With that, this is the end of this week's episode of BG Game Preview. Make sure to like and subscribe and go follow the Instagram. I believe the Instagram has almost hit 100 followers. The YouTube channel has hit almost 25. I know we hit 20 subscribers. And we've racked up almost 400 views across all 4 videos. That means a lot to me. I know just last week before I posted the St. Ed's video that we were at 300 views, and I touched on that in the outro. But I would like to thank you guys again for that. That really means a lot to me, as this was just something that I want to do for fun and see if I like. Thank you guys again, and this is Lucy Eisenbarth signing out on BG Game.